I had someone after Money Dance came out, someone hit me up like giving me the full spiel, bro. He started off with like, yo, I think I like what you're doing. And I'm like, like, I'm guessing you're talking about my music, but like, I'm like, thank you. What did you hear? He's like, yo, that Money Dance track. But yo, I looked at your stuff. You got a great personality. You're very likable. I really think you have a lot of potential and you could be a very powerful influence. And I'm like, all right, this is sounding weird. Okay, so, well, I appreciate it, man. Thank you very much. He goes, no, for real. And I'm like, all right, so I'm like, I know this is going left. It's got to. But I'm like, how long is it before he's actually going to fucking come out? So like, finally, I'm like, bro, what? Like, what do you, he's like, I think I can help you. I'm like, what? Like, what do you want to help me with? I think I can introduce you to the people that all of your favorite rappers have made relationships with. And that is anyone you've ever looked up to or who has made money, they did this exact thing. So I would like to introduce you to the Brotherhood of the Illuminati.
Another episode of A1 Live Podcast. And I got the dope MC with me. You know what I'm saying? We gonna throw the bloopers in later on so y'all can see why we laughing. I got an amazing MC, lyricist, man, songwriter. The music is dope, man. I was drifting off into your music for the past couple of days, honestly, bro. Just doing my due diligence and doing my homework, bro. The music is amazing artist, amazing individual. I got Red Simpkins on the A1 Lab podcast. What up, my G?
Hey, man, I appreciate it. We're gonna have a nice B-reel.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Yo, let's get right off into it. Man. For real, cause the track is dope, man. I really wanna get off into the Money Dance with you and John Connor. The track is hella dope. And you were mentioning about John Connor going to Full Sail, because I go to Full Sail myself. And then you said you were in LA for about a year, and then pick up. You was in LA.
So when I was in LA, we were it was the only portion of my life where I would say I was actually a professional rapper. I was signed to an independent label.
So prior to that, you was just, playing with were you even writing music at all? You say that's when you actually took yourself serious as a professional rapper. But prior to that, were you even writing at all or?
No, all right. So I should have said that a little differently. That was the only time I was a paid professional rapper.
Got you. I mean, that dude make a difference.
I have written, like, that was the only point in my life where, like, that was all I did for money in that portion of time. And it was dope, great experience. Obviously, moved on from that. But I wrote and recorded music. I wrote my first, I would say, rhyme in, like, 6th grade. Got, like, never recorded it or anything. I was just messing around. And then I got, like, halfway through the verse and realized I was just, like, quoting songs. So
okay, yeah.
As a 6th grader, I was like, man, that was cool, but like it got real frustrating. And I've always liked writing too, so I knew it was going to come back to it. And then high school was when I first started like really writing songs with an intention to record them, and then started recording. Released a CD in high school, like charging $5 out of our backpack, and got enough to buy like a better microphone, and stuff. And then from there, just kind of hit college and started battling. So then got on that. So I've always been doing the music, started off writing and all.
Yeah, and I'm gonna get into that. That part, because when I was doing my research on YouTube, it was some stuff that I found out that I didn't even know that, like, I'm a fan of that world. So we gonna get off into that.
Okay,
and know what I'm saying? So
all right, fast forward, 2006, Connor's at Full Sail. We become friends, started collaborating then. 2014, I'm in LA. He's linked up with Aftermath, and would get to like hang out with him, hear his music, have him just like drop all the knowledge he's learning through this whole process.
Yeah.
And then like 2019, late 2019, early 2020, we kind of relinked, started talking more. He was working on SOS at the time.
Okay.
Then said he's like, yo, let's go, let's do a track. So like I'd been recording at home for the first time, bought like a little setup, and I was just dropping idea, and I'd leave like an open verse on it. So then this one, I was like, all right, Connor, what do you think of this one? And he just like sent an email back 48 hours later with the verse and shit. And it was like, all right.
But did it work? Did it work out cohesively like that? Because sometimes you will have a record and it'll be an open verse, and you'll have somebody in mind, and then when they send back the record, you be like, this didn't go like how I thought it would go.
Yeah,
it was just spot on like that.
Well, so like I had a handful of tracks, and I'm super analytical when it comes to the music. I love the process. I love like the way you can put stuff together, the arrangement. And I like, dude, like a lot of artists, I beat myself to death listening to whatever I recorded latest is like my favorite shit,
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
Listen to it, analyze it. But that's also how I make my notes on it. Because the first time I record something is usually not the version that ends up coming out. Because I'm going to go back to like, even if it's a small word or a syllable or like the way I said something, like anything, it'd be like, listen, all right, cool. So I've been listening to that one for a while, and there was a couple other ones, and I was like, and also like, Connor and I are boys, but I know, like you said, everyone's got a lot of stuff going on. So like he's saying he wants to get on a verse. I'm going through like what I have ready.
Yeah.
Luckily that one was in the batch. And shouts to Lero, man. Lero's all the way over in France. He made the beat. Like I linked through the internet. I've never even met him.
Okay.
Like we talked a bunch and stuff like that. And he's a great guy. He made the beat, and he's a more like EDM dub trap. And he's probably gonna like say something to me after this because I probably didn't say that correct, because I'm like it's newer to me, the genres and all the different meshing of everything. But like that's his wheelhouse. And then he sent me this batch of beats. And for rapping reasons, this was like the last one. He was like, oh, that's not really finished. Like, da da da. And I was like, that's the one, bro. Like for rapping, it was just way more open. Like the thing with the EDM stuff, it's awesome. But like there's the way a lot of people produce it, there's only a small portion that is really like you could intend to rap over. Yeah. And you're building up to like a drop or something. So he said, I was like, he's like,
so many layers, so many build-ups. And
And he's like, it's not finished. And I'm like, bro, unless you're going to just like add some accents to it. He's like, I was like, just let us record something, give it back to you. So like, that was the thing. Like I had that one. I usually would like probably fine tune it a little more. And if I had time, I'd be like, all right, even do something new with the intention of the collaboration. Yeah. But for here, I was like, bro, this shit's fire. I think I killed it. Connor, I know, is going to, at the very least, write the hardest verse ever. Yeah. You know? And if he doesn't fuck with it, no problem, man. Let me get something different for you. Yeah. But like I said, bro, I sent it 48 hours later. Hey, bro, check it out. See what you think. And I'm like, we're good.
Have you ever been in a situation like that where, like, let's say, like a person like John Connor, he send you the verse back, and you like, damn, I gotta go rewrite my verse. Like, have you ever been in one of those type of situations?
Yes, for sure. And especially like with songs that like someone, because I say lyric wise, I'm pretty damn consistent. It's always going to be at least a certain level of complexity and thought put into it. But like angles, I think are big too. And like if I write a verse and then the collaborator or whoever else is hopping on it comes with a verse, and the perspective and the angle is just like totally different than what I'm like, that's what'll make me step back and be like, damn, bro, I didn't even like think of spinning it that way or like anything like that. So that to me is more than the actual like lyric for lyric type shit. Like someone who comes with like a crazy angle or just a whole different way about a verse, that'll make me like, oh shit.
Have you guys considered doing a little EP, like a whole little EP, maybe a whole project?
We haven't actually talked about it, but I like that idea.
You know what I'm saying? Because I like how y'all, that's a nice little team up.
I appreciate it, man. Yeah, that we do have a couple other tracks. You know, I mean, what's crazy is when we filmed that, the music video for it, Fluid, who is one of my main producers, he brought out like a mobile recording setup, like to the point where like he didn't have anything for like an open room, so he went like out to a Guitar Center mid vacation to go like buy this piece of equipment, and he's like, I just want to be ready in case Connor and everyone feel like rapping.
Yeah.
And bro, it didn't take anything, and it was amazing. Like I remember we were finishing a scene outside, we're like, oh, we're gonna go get this other room ready. And in the 30 minutes, like I was gone doing that, all of a sudden I hear Connor, what sounds like Connor rapping in another room, and I'm like, hold up. It's, like, well, it's not like someone playing a song. It's him with headphones on in the corner recording a verse. And this dude doesn't write. I've always been amazed with that.
Wow. Okay.
He doesn't write. He goes like bar for bar. All right, hold up. Blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
Back in, boom. And it was amazing. I had a lot of childhood friends that were out there with their families that were a part of the video. And like my buddy Spoon has 2 sons. And dude, they're just sitting there getting this experience of like seeing this pure hip hop moment that
getting
like
front row seats.
Yeah.
To an amazing show. You know what I'm saying?
So like in between scenes, Connor dropped like another verse of the year over. So I mean, we got a couple, man. It could definitely happen. That's.
I would love to hear it, man. You got a very lengthy career, man. Is there a particular moment where you feel like you've really arrived as a successful artist?
There's been moments for sure, but like I've only really released 2 albums as a solo artist throughout my whole career. One of them on streaming platforms. The other one is, I guess Bandcamp is streaming, but just as opposed to traditional. And like, I truly feel like I've robbed myself of releasing stuff and letting people like enjoy it, but I've also saved myself this chance to like still have that moment of like, people know me, they know of me, but they don't. It's not like I can walk into a room and not a single person know who the hell I am. I'll get on a microphone, and after that, it's like that joy of like the whole room being like, oh shit, he does that.
Absolutely.
And
he's not playing.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I have small moments, man, but I'm pretty hard on myself too. Like I'm very competitive, and like it's a gift and a curse because you start keeping score with everything. And it gets draining, man.
I mean, as all artists are, and especially artists that really, take to heart their craft. You know what I mean? Like we, like you just said earlier, as far as it might be, I might not have wanted to say this word like that, and somebody else heard it, but like, no, that's fire. But how it was supposed to. You know what I mean? You know how it was supposed to sound.
It's like, you don't. At this point, you don't even try to explain it. I understand you don't see, but like in my head, that's not.
Yeah, and it's going, and until I change that, it's gonna fuck with me. You know what I mean?
Drive you nuts.
Yeah, you talked about battle rap, man. I was doing my homework. I noticed that you had a few battles on Grind Time, like and I've been a supporter and a watcher of all the different platforms, especially Grind Time, especially what they were doing on the West Coast over there. What do you think about the battle rap scene now and how it has evolved? You got the KOTDs and the URLs. Organic over there doing an amazing job with what he's doing with the Grand Prix tournaments. What do you feel about battle rap and the evolution of it today?
I mean, I love it. I love just like going down the rabbit hole on YouTube sometimes and just watching the classics, but then like, hold on, this dude, like, and then seeing these newer battles where it's like one of those names I do recognize versus someone I don't recognize. And I'm like, I know battle rap, like you don't just get a big battle out of nowhere. So now it's like, all right, I got to see what I think of this dude, see what's like. It's dope, man. I think the one thing, which I think is kind of like the natural evolution anyway, there's just so many leagues now. So like,
so it's almost like it gets saturated.
That's not bad for the culture at all, but with anything, the more you get a bit, you got to dig through it a little bit more and find what you like and what. But I like it that it gives platforms. I mean, like, and you can get paid off it way more than a recording artist.
Yeah, they getting those big bags. Would you jump back in the ring? They come with that nugget, that chicken.
yeah, but I think I would still have to earn that nugget, man. I don't think they'd be paying me that much out the gate. But,
man, you never. Hey,
I know, but that's what I'm saying. So yes, there are times where like I'm all about it. Like I'm talking like weeks at a time where I'm just like, and the wheels start turning, and I'm like thinking like a battle rapper in the middle of the day. I just like write some shit down. I'm like, I don't know if I ever use that, but that was pretty crazy. But it's it's a whole different mind frame.
It is.
Creating music, you're trying to create a vibe, a mood, maybe something that you've been holding on to, you're trying to let it out. Battle rap is an outlet as well, but like you're going for.
I don't know. I don't know if
murderer.
Are you familiar with Soul Khan?
Oh yeah.
He came back and he realized okay, yeah, this is a different game. Because remember when Soul Khan was out, he was that guy. He was that guy. Bro,
first Grizzlemania in Orlando, Soul Khan stayed at my apartment.
You see what I'm saying? He was that guy, man. And when he came back, he was like, "Oh, okay, this is a different league." It's almost like Patrick Ewing trying to come back and play in the game right now, or you know what I'm saying? It's like, okay, these guys moving a little bit faster. You know what I mean?
And also the people who like do it at such a high level. It's now been out for this platform, at least popular, 10, 15 years, probably about that.
Absolutely.
That's enough for a whole other generation to have witnessed all these dudes get better and better. And now that's like their introduction.
Yeah.
Like it was like there was a big line in the sand before. Either they had the tiers, top tier.
Right.
Like ranking shit. So like that was like definitive. And now it's like, bro, so many people are good. Like
you
have options of where you want to go. Like you were saying, like organic and KOTD, like that shit's fire as fuck. But like certain styles play better there, and then certain styles will play better on other platforms.
Yeah.
And it's the people like one of my favorites is Pat Stay.
Man, he can go. That's one of my favorites because
he can go on both, like
anywhere.
And then to see him do compliment battles, and like on his Instagram, be a father and like be a normal dude, like with a personality and all, and still be able to on stage be like the biggest asshole ever.
And
just go for like he turns red and just goes. It's like. And he's funny, bro. Like,
to
me, that's like
he's one of those guys that he got all the attributes. Like, you know what I'm saying? He got all the attributes. Of course, the rhymes is there. He got the wittiness. You know what I'm saying? Like you say, he got the comedy in there a little bit. Then he can get serious. You know what I'm saying?
Because he delivers it and fucking like sells it so well. He's just committed to that.
Hella dope, man. Your latest full-length album, Curse of the Lucid Dreamer. Fire, bro. Fire. Right? You know what I'm saying? First of all, before we get into the album, do you believe in like the lucid dreams and all of that? Like I was watching something the other day where they was like, but I ain't gonna get too much into the conspiracy. But do you believe in that?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Like, bro, like that. Some shit is vivid. Like, just like you feel like you experienced it, and that's like the first sight of it. Is like I've had dreams I've sold out a stadium, and like since I've had the adrenaline feeling of being on stage, and then I'm a very creative, dreaming person. It's like it translates, and this is what I think it would feel like to rock a stage. But like I've thought about it so much and like built it up in my head that like this dream feels real. But then the curse of it is like that felt so real that you almost get like a part of like the sense of accomplishment or like that good feeling. And then it's like you kind of like sit with that for a day or two instead of continue on with your motivation to actually make that happen. Yeah, absolutely. And the title track, you got a bar that goes, "I've officially been rhyming over half my life now. This music makes
me whole, it consumes my lifestyle. Break that down for me a little bit. You know what I'm saying? What you meant?
Well, so like you said, I've had a pretty lengthy career. I'm 37 now, and like I was writing that. I started rapping when I was 17, and I think I was 35 when I was writing that. So like it was a literal thing, but it was also like I was in the studio and I was like, damn, I really have been doing it for this long. And now I literally have been rhyming for longer than I was alive when I started, is what that bar was. And then especially been rhyming over half my life now, man. This music makes me whole. It consumes my lifestyle. So like I feel lost without it. But I also fucking let it dictate way too much of my life in the sense that the response, who's checking for what I'm doing, why I've been doing it for this long, and I've only gotten so far. Like I can sit around all day and like blame all these different things.
But do you let that hinder you? Like, let's say you in the middle of making the next project, right? And then you start having these thoughts like, okay, well, last year I had 15. Like last year my numbers was this. This year my numbers maybe 5% less than what it was last year. What am I doing? Like, you know what I'm saying? Do you have those moments to where you like, you know what I mean? Or
Absolutely.
do you just keep?
Oh yeah, I mean, definitely. I try to snap out of it because, like I was saying earlier, like I just keep score too much, and that's like the day and age we're in with like the numbers and digital impressions and everything. It's all kept track of and all that. But like to snap out of it and just be like, am I like actually making a good impression on people with my music? Like, and the people who do reach out and do fuck with what I'm doing, am I taking the time to like let them know I appreciate it and to keep them checking for me? Because like obviously, yes, going viral would be awesome because then it gets people looking at you and then the rest of what you've done. But like unless you got the shit to back it up after that, that's just like a lightning strike, as opposed to like any kind of longevity. So like I feel I now have the stuff to back it up if something were to go viral, but like I also like I'm not betting on that. Like I'd love it to happen, but I just like I'm more worried about the consistency of my content because that's where I get burnt out. And I get these weeks where I'm like, I'm gonna do all this stuff, I'm gonna be so productive, I'm gonna do this, and this. And then like 2 weeks later, it's another like almost it's like, all right, I did that. And it's like, no, bro, you gotta keep doing that and like keep up with it. So that's my struggle is
one of my friends told me that one time, because I was the same way, I was so focused on, if you was really down with me, you should be reposting this and da da da. And they had to give me give me a reality check. Like, why not focus on the ones that are rocking with you and that are, salute them. You know what I mean? Because those are the ones that you want to hone in on, and those are the ones that you want to, appreciate. You got to appreciate the ones that is rocking with you and stop worrying about the ones that ain't, because they're going to keep doing what they're doing. So I had to.
Bro, you get to a certain point, people start rocking with you because other people rock with you. So like you keep getting those solid followers. Like it's that snowball effect, and then it's like it legitimizes you, and now people are like, oh, my friend knows about him, so I should know about him. Just hope that they keep checking.
Yeah. And another bar, you said finally free from my own devices. Can you talk about that? Talk about being free from your, talk about what that meant to you, that bar meant to you, because it's somebody out there, you could probably be helping somebody that's listening, that they might be teetering from whatever it is, and you might be able to say something that'll get them over that hurdle, so to speak.
I mean, I think I felt from definitely a music side, I've been putting so much pressure on myself to finally release like a concise album. And this was like my chance to do it. This is the first song of this journey. And like, I was starting to feel like a little bit of weight was lifted. Like I was just putting so much pressure on myself, putting so much weight into everything I was doing, but also like, already in my head coming to these conclusions before I'd even put the music out that this was going to do well, this wasn't going to do well, what if, and all this stuff. Instead of just enjoying the process and knowing that if I felt that good in the moment when I made it, I should feel that good about it when I put it out, no matter what anyone says. And I felt that at that point, like that was one of those songs that like literally my Fluid started messing with the sample, and I had like 32 bars by the time he put drums on it. Like that doesn't happen for me often. I usually get political. It was one of those, and then I just felt like this verse was like pouring out of me. And it felt like a very freeing moment. It felt like a song, like the vibe of the song was perfect for it. Just setting the stage for this like whole journey for the rest of the album. So like my devices tend to be a lot of overthinking.
Yeah.
Psyching myself out, just like coming to these like irrational conclusions and stuff, and stop preventing myself from putting the work in. And then that's like my excuse is, man, well, it was going to be crazy and this could have happened and that could have happened. And I've learned that you just gotta fucking do it.
Yeah, you creating a reality before the reality even happens.
Not even giving it a chance.
Yeah. It's almost like you cursing your manifestation. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Yeah. And it's hard. It's like go without saying, like, we human, bro. We artists and we human. So we're not doing it for nothing. So we look for the best outcome of whatever we do, right? So,
Absolutely.
on a track called Fool, right? On Fool, you said toured on my own dime. Talk about that a little bit, like the trials and tribulations of being an independent artist.
Okay. So that was specifically the Caveman Theory days. We went on the OCD tour, and it was myself, the rest of Caveman Theory, which was Cap, Gadamus, and Dolo, J Biz, Shinobi, Stalin, DJ Dolo, and oh my gosh, I feel terrible now. I'm forgetting the last artist. All right. Well, either way, so we went.
He's gonna see this and kill you in the comments.
They are. Yeah, we haven't talked in a long time. She's a very talented artist.
Why you ain't mention me, man?
Oh my gosh, man! Trust me, All right. And I had like a '95 Toyota Camry, and they rented a Caravan, and we just hopped in two cars, and we had booked like we took like a month. And I remember like I cashed out some savings. I was like 23, 24, something like that. And we were like, this album came out. We're going to go push it, do these college radios, stops and stuff. So like we actually had a good plan. It was a real quick reality check that first show though in South Carolina.
And sometimes that's the trials and tribulations. You know what I mean? See, a lot of people don't see the sweat. I was talking to my guy Hatch. He was saying like a lot of people don't see like behind the scenes and the sweat, and they just see the like sometimes the Instagram and the afterwards when we post the pictures and we smiling and woo, but they don't see like the stress and the sweat, the blood, sweat, and tears.
Yeah, I think it was probably including us, probably like 15, 20 people in the bar that one night, and like we're like, all right,
yeah.
And then we had days open, so we started. The coolest stuff out of this whole trip were probably like the side quests. We'd have like 2-3 days open and be like, all right, let's go check this out. Like one night we went to Portland, Maine. We were meeting up with a guy there, and we were going to an open mic. And I want to say it was a weeknight. And I'm like, we had been in New York for like a week, and I was like, I'll take a little break and do a little trip. Let's do it. So we go, and this dude worked as a janitor at the local college, was getting off work. He lived like 2 blocks away. We went to his place. He changed real quick, and he's like, let's go. And we start walking like downtown. And Portland, Maine at this point, I want to say like 8 or 9 at night, it's a ghost town. Like it's like, what could we possibly be going? We're going to a hip hop open mic right now. All right. And sure as shit, like 5 blocks down, and we start hearing music. And he's like, it's right up here on the right. We turn the corner. It's like the whole town had gone to this open mic. It was ladies' night. This is genius. Live band, dude playing a live drum set, guy on bass, plus a DJ dropping instrumentals, and it's just a cipher line. Like you're up there and you rap until either you start falling off or you know, and then you pass the mic. And I'm telling you, there's like 250, 300 people in here, and
At least.
like half of them are women. It's like this never happens, and then it's like the coolest shit ever. So like, it was this awesome journey, but like, I was broke about halfway through it.
Yeah. I mean, and see, that's the wonderful thing about it, because okay, we put in this work, but look at the memories we had. Like, you know, look, like I don't know if you have ever been to Portland, Maine prior to that. You follow what I'm saying? And ever seen something like that where you go and it's like this many people, you know, there for hip hop, there for what you know what I'm saying, just there to rock out. I don't know what time frame was this, because did you get anybody that was getting footage?
Not really. It was I want to say 2007.
That would have been hella footage. You know what I'm saying? That you could just sit on.
We were lucky. One, I think Godimus had a sidekick, and I think that was like he had like an early GPS app.
Yeah,
that was like our lifesaver.
Yeah.
And if he wasn't around, it's like we didn't. No one had GPS. No one had nothing. No one had smartphones. And it was. I remember that shit it had to be ran by the government. They took us the most expensive way. Every damn time there was a bridge or a toll, the most expensive way possible. This is the way you go. Like, dude, we're running out of money already. We don't need Oh my goodness.
Oh man, how many spots did y'all hit? You would say?
I would say probably 8 to 10 over the course of a month, and then like a few radio stations along the way. It was really dope. Like South Carolina, North Carolina.
That's where I'm at right now, South Carolina, actually. Yeah.
So I haven't. Besides that trip, I don't think I've spent much time. I've driven through a couple times, but I've never really spent time there. What part are you in?
I'm in Beaufort, actually.
And where's that relative to?
So, because I'm normally from the Midwest. I'm from Detroit. I just moved down here in like August, but like this is I guess I'm not too far. I'm like 45 minutes away from like Savannah, Georgia, and all of that. Like yeah. So yeah,
I can bust it right up the coast and get to you pretty quick, probably.
Yeah,
how far are you from Orlando? Like 5 hours.
That's it. Because I actually have a family that lives in Florida. So, and I know my drive there is normally about 4.5 hours, give or take, depending on, how fast we drive.
I never really thought about how close you guys were.
Yeah. When I was doing my homework, I'm like, oh man, this could have been just like a little pull up. I could have,
Well, if you ever come down here, man, for sure.
Yeah, dope. That'll be hella dope. And then maybe I can, throw some instrumentals on you, throw some beats. I do my own production. We can link and get one of those John Connor moments. You know what I mean? Yeah. Because I love to collaborate and I love to just, like you say, just being around that type of atmosphere and soaking in. And you know what I mean? Even if I'm not even a part of it, if I'm just sitting back and just, you know what I mean?
Absolutely, man. You rap as well?
Yeah, yep.
Rap and produce?
Yep.
Bro, that's
I got it. My last project, I produced 99% of the project. It's only one song on there that I didn't produce, and the guy that produced it, he's one of my go-to guys. That if I don't trust, like that's the only one of the only other guys that I trust. Because every time we link up, it's always something. We always gonna make something.
There's always those people you got those like connections with, where it's like it's never a problem to create something. Like
I was gonna ask you that, because your last project, Lucid Dreams, Curse of the Lucid Dreams, heavy production on there. Who was your favorite producer to work with on there?
Well, that was all produced solely by
Fluid.
Yeah, wow. So that's essentially a Red Simpkins Fluid album.
Wow,
the whole thing. I will toot my own horn real quick. We've created everything together. Like I got the ears. I wish I had like the ability. I just can't. But like I'm very good with how I want stuff arranged, ideas. What about this? What about that? But he is the mastermind that. Absolutely.
Brung the whole vision together, production wise, you know. Yeah,
Absolutely.
and see, that's when those are the most projects I like the most, when an artist is working with one producer and they bring in like a whole vision together, like everything cohesive, because now you can almost play every track by track, because it flows. They got a flow to it instead of sounding like a little playlist somebody put together, like, you know what I
Right.
mean?
Right.
Every Yeah,
I'm
so
big on
so
transitions too, man. Like from song to song, like you said, the best albums are ones you can just put on. Like I think of immediately like Chronic 2001 for me is one of those
yeah.
where, and for a
Yeah.
lot of people,
Yeah, yeah.
like, it's surprising.
Yeah.
It's one of those where but like you can tell they took the time to like look at the progression and like the ride that you're gonna go on when you listen to that album. And
Cinematic almost, you know what I
yeah,
mean?
yeah.
Between your experience in battle rap and your experience in, being a recording artist and touring and all that, which would you say have had the biggest impact on your career?
Man, I feel like battle rap gave me the biggest like immediate legitimacy and opportunities,
Okay.
because like when you're popping in battle rap, and I'm not
Mhm.
talking like grind time. I only did 3 grind time battles. They were dope. I held my own, but like I was never like one of those dudes that was like wanting to like do 10 battles a year and
What's
have
the next event? Like, yeah,
right. Like
yeah.
I knew myself, and I knew that like I was either going to get burnt out or I wasn't going to take it serious enough.
Okay.
And I always loved recording so much. For me, it's tough to jump back and forth at the same time. If I'm creating like if I was creating that album and I went to go do a battle, like I don't think my music would sound different for like 2 months. It'd
Okay.
be way more aggressive. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'd just be talking shit.
Punchline heavy, just
um,
okay.
but I would say the music stuff overall has had a bigger impact because I've created relationships. When you create music with someone, especially from nothing, like if you're sitting in a studio and you got a producer there, yourself, other artists maybe, and you literally are going through samples, through sounds, whatever, however you create your beat, and you started with nothing but an idea, and then at the end of that session, like y'all form a bond to
Yeah.
some extent. Like if you create that song from start to finish and y'all put your passion and heart and soul into that shit, like that's an experience. And like I love the fact that you can do that and like not talk to that person for 3 years, and all of a sudden you see them somewhere and it's just like, and
Yeah.
it goes the other way sometimes too, but like I think that is the coolest shit, because that's the shit like that with Connor. Like we constantly kept in each other's lives somehow, and it was never skip a beat, nothing like that. It was just back talking about old times and talking about what we're doing now. And like he inspired me too, man. Like after this last album, I was like kind of at the point where like I feel good about this. I'm gonna push this for a while, but I'm like kind of cool on creating music. And then that collab, a couple other songs got me like feeling ready to go again.
Yeah, yeah.
So,
And it's like creating that everlasting bond,
yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Well, like you just said, you know, I might not see you for 3 years, and then as soon as we link up, it's like, yo, I'm on my way to the studio right now. I need, because it's it's like, yo, I know what I can get out of you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So go ahead, send me something.
Yeah.
Send me something through the email or pull up if you in the city. Yeah, it's like that everlasting bond. What do you say to those who say the lyrical or like the rapidy guys, like the ones that focus on the lyrics or whatever, those style of artists? What do you say to those that say they can't make commercial music or can't make popular music? Like, you know what I'm saying? Because it's a misconception that just because I concentrate on what I'm saying, that I still don't know what a hit is, or I still don't have the ear. Like, you know what I mean?
So to me, the bigger divide is not necessarily. So I look at lyrical as like you can be lyrical in so many different ways. I think the people who have a tougher time, excuse me, making it commercially or making a commercially successful song are the people who are lyrical in a classic hip hop rapping about rapping.
Okay. Yeah.
You know, and there's nothing wrong with that, but like people only want to hear that so much. You got to talk about stuff that like the normal person walking down the street that does not necessarily listen to rap or even like go to music for some. Talk about something they might be going through. If they aren't like a hip hop head, it's going to be tough to get them excited about punchlines and metaphors. And I love it because I am a hip hop head. But like I think of people like Chance, like Big Sean, and like Pusha T, even like bro, like it's about how you do it. Like even Rick Ross, I think is crazy lyrical, and like I feel like
another great example is like a guy like Ludacris, who all his song like all his radio songs are just you know they were made for the radio, but then when you go to the album, he got tracks where he freestyling and doing this and that. So the bars is there. You know what I mean?
And that's the thing too. A full length album, you're able to give them the deep cut, the difference of the stuff for the hardcore fans. But bro, speaking of Ludacris, what's the last one he put out? Ludaversal? Something about 2015?
Yeah.
Bro, that album is crazy.
Yeah.
And I feel like commercially that was like kind of just right now. Luda put something else out because I'd be like playing it for people and people would be like, what is that?
Yeah.
Like, this is Ludacris's new album.
Because, around that time, we were getting a resurgence of a lot of these guys that we hear now. So, like, it's like what you said before is like the styles were changing. Like, you know what I'm saying? What people wanted to hear on the radio were changing. The melodic raps were coming to the forefront of everything. Yeah. You know what I mean? So, a lot of those guys failed by, a lot of those guys we know, you know what I'm saying? We know to check for it as soon as they come out, or even like the Pusha T's, like the ones that know to check when he got something coming out, okay, because I know what I'm about to get.
He's consistent as fuck. He doesn't drop that often, so it's like you know when he drops something.
Yeah, absolutely, man. If you had to sum it up in three words, what would you sum up your sound if you had to sum up your sound in 3 words?
Soulful, relatable, honest.
Okay.
Just like I talk about the things I go through, and I talk about it in a way that I've tried that get as many people to understand as possible. Because I know for me, sometimes with communicating, like I can be so focused on one part of the communication that I just didn't take something for what it was, and like sometimes not get the intended thing. So like I like being lyrical, but presenting it in a way that's like, okay, I see what he's doing. I don't have to like decipher it, but I see that he's putting his time, effort into the craft of it as well. So yeah. Just like soul, I love soulful side, like production wise, like Southern hip hop. I grew up my first 12 years in Olympia, Washington, up in the Northwest. So I got that West Coast, like G Funk. I love the old school Snoop, all the West Coast, like stuff like that. Got like me into that kind of groove. I was a big Bone Thugs fan, and then got down here in Orlando, and it's like Trick Daddy, No Limit, Cash Money, Ludacris, Outkast, like to me, like the perfect mix of all that. So like the soulful stuff has definitely translated. Like I like music that makes me feel a certain way, makes the hair stand up.
Absolutely. When you hear it, you make the ugly face. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. All of that, like you
bitter beat face. Yeah, bro. Like I that's I think why I get so heavy into and so invested in my music too, is because like I don't even like I write to beats. I can't remember the last time I wrote a verse and then was like, let's find a beat for it. Like I usually I like to get the vibe, whatever it's be, and then write to that. So whatever I wrote is tailored to that vibe, feel, tempo, and that's where like that soulful shit. It's like, bro, that's just what speaks to me. Like brass, horns, a good like blues guitar. Like that shit is like what like catches my ear, I guess.
Same here, bro. I did a well, I'm supposed to be doing a project with one of my homeboys. We supposed to be doing this joint project, and I don't know. It's kind of I'm waiting on him, but it's like so he told me, well, if we don't get to it, just use them verses for something else. I'm like, bro, first of all, I don't recycle verses, and for that reason, if I wrote it, it's tailored for that. Like it's tailored, the cadence. You know what I'm saying? I think about the
Right.
cadence, all of that. It's tailored to that beat. It fits in that pocket. I don't care if it sounds like it go with this. It's for
Right.
that. The subject matter, all of that. Like, you know what I'm saying? So them
Absolutely.
just verses that's just sitting there that'll never hear the light of day.
It's like, yeah, yo, if you're at a party or you end up at a cipher or something, sure, you might drop it
Yeah. You know, I
in the
might.
moment. But like, yeah, like recording wise, it's like, bro, this just doesn't feel good.
Yeah. Now, don't get me wrong. I didn't even think about that. Definitely might use them verses to throw if I get in a little cipher.
Right.
You
Like,
know.
I got you. I might have something. Hey.
Oh, we got them bars. I ain't heard this. You feel me? Yeah, that's hard, man. If you could sit down for an hour and soak up game from one person in the industry, who would it be? And don't get me wrong, it ain't necessarily got to be like the music industry. You could soak up game from a guy that's at a Fortune 500 company. Like, you know
Right.
what I'm saying? If you could sit down for 1 hour.
You're talking about so on the business side of things. Or
Whether
just
you talking business, whether you talking like, yo, how did you, like, you know what I mean?
I mean, honestly, bro, just because you started saying like going the CEO route, like I think of like Mark Cuban, bro. Like I feel like he's got such an unorthodox way of looking at things, and I can relate to that and like trying to find these solutions. Or like, all right, everyone's doing it like this.
Mhm.
Is anyone even like what would happen if we did it like this?
Mhm.
And the fact that he is so invested, specifically, like Mavericks and stuff. Like I love how fired up he gets.
Yeah.
That clip of him, you ever seen that clip of him at where he's doing this speech and he curses and they notify him that he's been fined and he goes, fuck it, make it 20. Like I'm just like, man,
Yo.
like, I honestly, I don't read up a whole bunch on him, so I hope I'm not like praising this dude and he's done some weird shit lately. So
Because you never know nowadays. But I don't think so. I think he's good.
Yeah. But from the business side of things and all that, like he'd be very interesting to talk to because I think his perspective is just like if I'm not mistaken, I think he like started a paper route and like parlayed that into like the next, and like I never had that business sense at a young age, so like that is very intriguing to me. That like
absolutely, man, and he always like, and I watch him a lot on Shark Tank as well. It's just like you just said, like how he thinks about, okay, well, I like this, but you know what I'm saying? That
I'm like, oh, he's definitely gonna give him a deal, and he's just like, I'm out.
And he breaks, and he doesn't just say no. He fully breaks down why this isn't gonna work, and not only why isn't gonna work, but he gives you advice on how you can maybe change it up. It could work if you do this and that and the third. In about a year, you'll be making this. You'll be, you know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Love it.
Given the solution or at least an opinion on a solution or a suggestion, I think that's huge because like it's really tough to get someone to like listen to you when you're just telling them, like, no, that's not good. No, but then you tell them why and give them some honest feedback. I think that goes a long way.
Another record you have, Bad Days, another Fluid Boy. You know what I'm saying? First of all, talk about how that record came about, and talk about like give us one of those days where you were just like, yo, this is like a really bad day for me. Like you know what I'm saying? Whether it was whether it was on tour and we were supposed to go to this next city, but the Toyota was acting up, and you know, like you know what I'm saying?
Well, I'll give you a bad day. We were in LA and me and two other artists were going on a Midwest promo tour with like these like 5 or 6 cities, and we were flying to Ohio, I believe, and then renting a car there. we between the miscommunication of the people that were supposed to have everything ready for us and everything, we ended up spending an extra day and a half in Ohio because we couldn't get a car rented, and we were in the hotel without transportation and missing the first show of the tour. So that was like not a,
like we
not a good
we just here.
right, like bro, and like we can't do shit. Like we don't even like. It's not like we could go to the show if we wanted to. The show was like probably an hour away.
Yeah, this is before Uber. You could just call up an Uber, call up a Lyft, and
Yeah.
you know what I mean.
So that was a tough one. But I mean, I think like creativity wise, when I was out there creating, it was awesome because I had a 4-hour session every single day.
Mm-hmm.
It was bad because the first month and a half, everything was great. Like 4 or 5 songs a week, new ideas every time, and then I hit the wall. And I had set this expectation of like I can pump out X amount of music, and then all of a sudden like I'd go like 3 sessions in a row, and like we'd have like 6 partial beats with like a hook idea on this one, a verse on this one, and it was just like my focus was all over the place, and like
you hit a wall. You kind of got burnt out or hit a wall.
Yeah,
you probably got
a situation where like it was day after day. Like I'd work on shit when I got inspired or I had downtime, and then I'd schedule like 1 session a week, and I'd go try to record as much as possible.
Mm-hmm.
But now it's like I'm there every day, and it's like fuck, man, you gotta like step back, and even though it is your job at that point, know that it's your dream job, and you should, like it's still like chill, and also to like not force it one day. It'd be better to take a day off and go fucking do something instead of forcing it for a whole week and trying to and getting nothing productive out of it.
That's the one of the main things. I got a homeboy, and like all I instill is organically, right? Like I just like to move organically. If I feel like I gotta force it, then just let it happen. Like say for instance, me and him, we both been doing music since since high school. Like you said, we both been doing music since high school. With that being said, we only have a handful of songs together. But the handful of songs are fire. Why? Because every time I always, instill like, bro, if we supposed to do this song, let's just let it happen. Let's not, force it. Oh, I gotta get you over to the studio, this, that, and the third. And every time we've done a song, it did what it was supposed to do. You follow what I'm saying? Because of that organic nature, and just sometimes letting the universe take control, whatever it may.
The like music that feels natural resonates way more.
I don't want to. If I can't come up with the verse right now, I'm not about to sit here for 24 hours and then just give you anything.
Because then you're gonna fucking listen to the beat in the next 48 hours, and you might catch the vibe finally and that wave, and now you're like, bro, you got to get rid of that verse anyway.
Yeah.
That's not going on there. This is
for those that don't know, man. For a lot of people that don't know, or for the viewers that's watching that doesn't know, where did the name Red Simpkins come from?
Well, Simpkins is my last name.
Okay.
And red my hair used to be the color of my beard. Like when I was a kid. You ever seen Problem Child?
Yeah, of course.
See some of my childhood pictures, I look like Problem Child.
Okay. Like, I think the name Red, I thought maybe it was illuminati stuff, or maybe you had something. No.
Is red associated with Illuminati?
No, I'm messing with you. I don't know, man. You know what I'm saying,
bro? Dog, that's kind of funny you brought that up, man. I had someone after Money Dance came out. Someone hit me up, like giving me the full spiel, bro, and it was hilarious because they like eased into it, and I fucked with them for like 2 weeks.
You got to break that down. What they say?
Oh, like everything you like, all the scams you could think of. Like we started off with like, yo, I think I like what you're doing, and I'm like, You know, like, I'm guessing you're talking about my music, but like, I'm like, thank you. What did you hear? He's like, yo, that Money Dance track. But yo, I looked at your stuff. You got a great personality. You're very likable. I really think you have a lot of potential, and you could be a very powerful influence. And I'm like, all right, this is sounding weird. Okay, so, well, I appreciate it, man. Thank you very much. He goes, no, for real. And I'm like, all right, so I'm now like, I know this is going left. It's got to. But I'm like, how long is it before he's actually going to fucking come out? So like, finally, I'm like, bro, what? Like, what do you, he's like, I think I can help you. I'm like, what? Like, what do you want to help me with? I think I can introduce you to the people that all of your favorite rappers have made relationships with. And that is anyone you've ever looked up to or who has made money, they did this exact thing. So I would like to introduce you to the Brotherhood of the Illuminati. And I'm like, there it is.
Ding dong, hello.
There it is. And then he sent me like these, emails. And he's like, you need to hit him up right now. And you need to make sure you are answering all of his messages in a timely manner and show him that you are worthy for the Brotherhood. And I'm like, nope. But I'm like, man, it's like, but then I go on this like crazy, like creative rabbit hole of like, bro, that'd be a hell of a fucking movie script.
Hey, yo.
Oh, yeah, you fuck with a guy, and all of a sudden, 2 weeks later, you get kidnapped in the back of a fucking limo, and then you show up, and it's real. And
you take the mask off, you got Diddy sitting across from you.
Right. And bro, I'm thinking about like, this is like middle of the pandemic. So I'm like, bro, how do these initiation things go? Is it like via Skype?
Yeah.
Turn it on, and you got like 6 hooded dudes with like dim lit, like they're like singing in Gregorian chant, and they're like, "Are you connect?" And then they lose connection, like at the most like tense point of the whole thing.
Yeah.
I'm like, how is this even? If this was real, how is this gonna go down?
Yeah, bro, that would be so hilarious, bro. So I mean, I had to ask. You got the trippy reds out here. You never know, man. Sometimes I gotta ask, man.
No, I'm not. I like a good conspiracy theory, and
yeah.
I like reading some shit, and I really, really hope Bigfoot is real. But other than that, I don't really fuck with all that, man. I just have a good time with people and just like, yeah, man. Like you said, keep it organic. I'm not tripping about that. Everything's falling into place so far. So like, I got to process a little.
Red, have you ever found yourself compromising and making a record just because it was sale? Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Like, after a while, when you think, I'm one of those artists where like, everything I make, I think, I'm like, oh, this is the one. This is the one. So, like, after a while, you snap out of it, but also, like, you realize, all right, well, if these aren't the ones, maybe I should try something different. So I've definitely fallen victim over the years for rapping as long as I have, and going through like starting in the golden era and like making it through at least like 2 or 3 other what you would call phases of what is popular and the most commercial. You always try with shit. I've never really fucked with auto-tune. I mean, it doesn't do as I don't know if I'm not doing it right or whatever, but it's just
silly, bro.
When like I would try it, it wouldn't like sound like how I hear it on other people's voices and shit. So like I like put my own melody and stuff, man, and like just trying new shit. But like
you do your own wave, and not only that, you do it work for you, and you so dope of an artist, like you don't have to. Like, you follow what I'm saying?
Yeah. Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, bro, that is probably the biggest thing that I've learned over the years is finally just like, bro, just make this album. Like, I'll tell, bro, I used to rap about weed all the time. I'm all for it. But like, I'm like, bro, I'm getting older. I'm about to start a family. And why do I need to tell people I smoke weed? Like, what? Like, it's just like, you know what it is? Honestly, bro, like, as a white rapper, you can only brag about so much shit, especially when you don't dabble into the street life. So, like, that whole side of things, like it just doesn't. Like
I don't agree with that. It's you know it's plenty of.
Okay. I mean,
I don't.
well, here's my answer to that is talk about life.
Okay.
Because everyone lives life. And talk about the struggles, talk about the good, the bad, and the ugly. So
There
like
you
when
go.
I stopped talking about weed in my raps, my shit got so much better because I had to fill it with something, and it wasn't gonna be bullshit. I was gonna like, all right, let's talk about what I've gone through this week, this situation. How do I handle this? How do I get through this? The good times, the bad times, and all that. And then it opened it up to being like a whole new perspective for me because it's like that was almost like a crutch for me because I could like rap about all this, like just I was good at being witty about that kind of stuff, you know, and coming up with like cool ways to say like I'm rolling up a fucking
yeah. I mean, not unless you know, who knows? Not unless you was getting that big, you know, endorsement, or you was you know, you had a strand coming, the red strand, with the red hairs in it.
Yo, actually, shouts to Genetic Brewing, man. This is local Lake Mary. They did a red ale.
Okay.
I had a beer made after me.
Okay. That's hella dope. You see what I'm saying? So
that was dope. No, I'm with you, bro. I'm with you. There was definitely no check involved though.
Hey man, but just to be able to say we did that, like, you know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. No, absolutely. And I mean that'd be cool as hell.
You gonna put out some red merch out here? Or you gonna put your own merch out here? Or you got something coming?
Yeah, so I've got some now. RBLSHP.com. It's
okay.
Rebel Sheep without the E's.
Okay. So
Rebel Sheep is my brand. That's if you've seen the cover of Curse of the Lucid Dreamer, that sheep is the mascot and the concept is when you're trying to go to sleep, you count sheep. Mm-hmm. The sheep are there helping you go to sleep. Mm-hmm. Sheep have dreams of their own. So after a while, bro, the rebel sheep's like, fuck it. I'm going after my own dreams.
That's hard.
And they're out. So the cover has the mascot on it, and the whole album cover on rebelsheep.com, RBLSHP.com. You can get all that there. You can order it all. And it's dope. It's really quality stuff. Dan Duarte, a homie of mine, is a super talented graphic artist, and he did it all for me. Yeah, you can get it all there. It's all high quality printed. I've got some exclusive stuff as well, so you can always just hit me up direct for that. Okay. I usually bring those out to shows though, and try to do it live because I collabed with Global Hue, my boy Dre, and we did some merch like that. He does all hemp, bamboo, fully sustainable clothing. So it's a little more expensive, nice quality, but like, bro, it feels
you're gonna like what you're getting. Yeah.
Comfortable shirt ever, and it looks dope.
That's what I look for in my shirts, especially my little tees and stuff like that. How do it feel? Is it comfortable? Like that's the first thing I go to. So I'll definitely be checking that out.
Oh yeah. Actually, bro, I'm gonna send you something.
Yeah. We're gonna talk behind the scenes, you know what I'm saying? Cause I like I say, production wise, I still wanna send some stuff your way and see how you like it and see if we can collab. I know you have the Breathe Easy show coming. Mm-hmm. With the world kind of opening back up, can we expect another tour maybe? Or can we expect you to
probably not in the foreseeable future, man. This is like the second show we've done in a year. This is our first show that we've put together, though, so this is very exciting for us to put some things together and see how it goes and see the benefit of it. Because I mean, it's awesome to perform, but like, this is dope. We get to fully invest, fully put this stuff together, put the team on, and have a great night. I would love to bring Connor and his boys down and do an Orlando show. So that'd be like the next big move for that. And then I'd love to parlay it into some dates as a tour. But the thing with me going the organic route on the following is that my numbers aren't there as far as like streams and stuff. So like that's my goal now is to try to get that up a little bit too. keep building the fan base, and hopefully that will translate into
build back up and then roll out.
To do a couple other cities. Like I'm all about doing like a one-off weekend show or something like that. And I think I might be doing one in Pensacola, which I've never done one up there. So that'll be cool. They got a pier out there at a restaurant. They do live music, so that'd be dope.
Okay, that's my wife was stationed there for a while. Yeah, before she came here, she was stationed out in Pensacola. So yeah,
The Angels are always flying up there.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely, man. So, Red, man, what else you got coming up? What can we expect in the coming future from Red?
Well, I've recently got back in the studio, and I think I love The Curse of the Lucid Dreamer so much, the album, and I truly feel that like I haven't given it its full go as like getting it out there and giving it a chance to catch on. Every time I perform it, it's a great response. I think the music really resonates with people. So like my move now is I've actually gone out, got a couple of bigger names to hop on remixes. Like Connor's hopping on a remix. An artist named Chewy out of Sacramento. He's on a remix of Fool that's going to be coming out soon. That shit's fire. And
so will you do maybe a reloaded?
Possibly, but the goal would be to do the whole album.
Okay.
Some of the songs, like the payoff, is like a 6-minute story about like a poker heist. So like that might take a little more time to like figure out how it would make sense to do a remix. Actually, bro, you just kind of gave me an idea, bro. We could actually make some characters, throw people in there as villains. That'd be dope. So yeah, some of them would take a little bit more time. Right now, I've got like 3 of them I'm working on. But that's the goal. And then singles. Like I'm just gonna focus on a song, put everything I have into it, make sure it's what I love, it's quality, and shoot a visual for it and give it a fair chance to catch on. I think that's another thing is like I've in the past, to me, because I listen to the music every day, to me, because I perform it in the car every day when I'm driving, it's old to me. Okay. But like, then you think about it and you're like, bro, I've only performed this 10 times. There's only 10 rooms of people, and some of those people are probably repeats that have heard this. And there's only X amount of people that have streamed it. To everyone else, it's fucking new. And if it's got that timeless quality feel to it, 2 years isn't gonna like halt a project in its tracks. Like, and
I don't know if you have, but you might want to tap into that overseas market too, because they not to say that we don't, but they appreciate our style of music, it's seemingly a little bit more, you know what I'm saying? So once you tap into that market over there, you know what I'm saying, fill your passport up.
Bro, speaking of that, man, bro, you keep like saying things that take me directly to my next thought. It's perfect. Shady Beats, who linked us up, shouts to Shady Beats, a big rapper overseas for Detroit specifically, linked me up with Pete's Beats and Jay Simmons, 2 artists from the UK, and we got a track coming out now.
See what I'm saying?
So like, bro, you're right. Like, and then Lero is St. Mauritius, France. So he's getting exposure over there. He's getting the exposure here. They fucking love everything he puts out over there. And like they hear new stuff and collaborators with American artists. Like it's cool as hell. The international shit really does resonate, man.
Not only that, once they get the record, like let's say you link up with a couple producers, they get the record, now they hitting you up like, yo, they really loving this. They need you to perform at woo. Get your passport together. Come on, we over there. We booked you. You know what I'm saying? And like I say, the crowd of people over there that come together for a show is different, man. It's just like, it's different from what I hear. It's just, it's different. You know what I mean?
You're not the only one that hears that, man. That's solid. And like, though, they're still, I mean, it's coming back in the States now, I think but they're still way bigger on vinyl.
Yeah.
And like, you can drop merchandise over there
Yeah.
Merchandise series. Like you got to go. You have to have like a crazy following in the States.
I hate to say it, but bro, that's how before he blew up in the States, that's where Tekashi blew up overseas. He blew up overseas first.
Really?
And then they were like, yo, well, who is this guy? He blew up over there first. Before he blew up in his own and you know, in his own I want to say I forget what country.
Like he was huge in Russia, bro. For some reason.
Yeah,
like, a bunch of vodka would go well with the
I could definitely see that, bro.
I feel like the Russians would like rape
Absolutely. So yeah, I can't wait for it. But nevertheless, man, as soon as you put out anything, bro, and you need a platform to come back and promote or come back and say, yo, I got this coming, bro, there's always a platform for you, you know.
I appreciate the hell out of it, man.
Yeah, absolutely, bro. You know, I just love good music, man, and I just love positive people, and you got both of those vibes. So we gotta link it. We gotta link up, and we gotta link in. You know.
Absolutely, I agree.
Well, let them know where they can find you and where they can get your music.
It's Red Simpkins at everything. I do pretty much all my stuff on IG though. I don't have a TikTok yet. Everyone keeps telling me to get one.
Yeah, I got a TikTok, but I don't use it. Like, you know, I have an account, but I don't.
I feel like the reels and the remixes you can do on Instagram now. Like that's the answer to the duets on TikTok.
Yeah.
And like for me, like I don't know, bro. Like honestly, all the social media kind of overwhelms me anyway. So like if I just focus on one and try to give that my best. So Instagram's where you get me, Red Simpkins, REDD SIMPKINS. Rebel Sheep. The website's rblshp.com. Get all your merch, links to everything. And yeah, man, just trying to keep making good music and keep building, keep meeting good people like you.
Absolutely, man. Well, there you have it. Red Simpkins on the check-in. I appreciate you, bro.
Thank you so much, man.